All right, now I'm hoping I got some sound. I forgot to turn on my focus right, but that's okay. We're all learning new things as we go, and I'm just trying to give out some more good information for people who might need to string up their guitar. So, yeah, as I was saying earlier, I take them all off. Like I said, you could cut the strings here and just get rid of them and throw them out. That's probably the best thing to do. I would never keep old strings with new strings, say, because the new ones are a lot brighter and nicer sounding, and then you got the old ones. The other thing about strings that everybody needs to know is that when you look on the back side of a string after they're old, you'll see that it's got little like nicks in it in spots. It's hard to really find them. But what happens is when you're playing, then the string will rub into the fret wire and slowly wear out the fret. And then you need to get a new fret job done on your guitar. Replace all the frets so that it all works out nicely again. But yeah, so it's good to change your strings frequently. It helps for the tone and the sound as well as all the other things that are going on. Now, I usually like to put the guitar down here, and I wish I had more light. It doesn't seem to be like it's lighting up very well in this room today to see what I'm doing. But anyways, I'm getting the strings off this way, and sometimes when they're put on from somebody else, they can be tough to get off. Because really what you want to do is you just want to coil the string right down to the bottom of the post, and you don't want to have too many winds on it, but you want to have enough that the string doesn't slip. So as we slowly get these all off of here, see there's hardly any string going around the post, so what will happen is the string will keep slipping and going out of tune. So that's not very good. There's a lot of things to kind of go through when you're stringing up a guitar. When you first do it, it can take a while to get, comfortable with doing it. That's why I like standing it up like this and then working it this way and turning the keys. We do have this handy dandy tool here that helps too to be quicker. Um, I actually made one, um, took the end off and made it so, well, I got a friend to make it so that it can fit on a drill, and then I can just quickly wind them off if I'm in a hurry or if I have a lot of guitars to do. I'll use that. But for the most part, as long as you're getting the strings all off, how you do it, like I said, I try not to keep the old strings anymore because they're dead. They're not dead, but I mean, they just got no more tone, no more life to the brightness of them, and things of that nature. And again, like I talked about, was the fret wiring, right? So, I mean, you can destroy your frets using these old rusty strings. And you can slowly. This thing is great because it saves time. You put it on there. You might want to put this peg straight so that it can wind. It feels a little awkward when you first start using it. That's why I like the drill. It's kind of awkward on this side, but see, you can just quickly wind it off. Do that with all of them. And I always just play it to make sure I'm loosening the string because maybe somebody put it on backwards. You never know. And just to save time, I just have to hear it and I know, okay, it's loosening, so that's good. That one's loosening. So great, they're all coming off nicely. So it takes a while to get a guitar all strung up. It can take some time. So now you know the work involved too when you bring it to somebody, if it's something you don't want to do. We do neck adjustments too and try to set them up so that they play nice. Look at the nut that the strings lie in here. It looks like somebody's put some graphite in there so that the strings can. That's an old trick too with the Les Pauls and that. My Les Paul kept going out of tune. So I brought it down to the store. It was driving me crazy. And the guy showed me this trick. It was been a while back now, but the old trick they used to do with electrics with the Gibsons is, see, this is a pain when it breaks off in there. And then you got to try to not poke your finger and get that string. You get that string in your finger, it'll hurt for a while. I've done it. So we try to somehow get this out of here. There. Yeah, use a pair of these or something so that you don't hurt your. I have had that go in and just catch the bone of my fingertip. It really does hurt. So be careful, and be careful around your eyes when you put the new strings on. But yeah, back to Les Paul's. What he showed me was he took a pencil, and I'll do it on this because it looks like that's what they've already done. So that's a good idea to do it again. Yeah, there's all the strings are off. So now we'll pull the pegs out. I usually like to put the pegs in the order that they come out. So that's what I mean by watch your eyes. These wires and that can catch you in the eyeball there, and it wouldn't be good. So I always try to, put them somewhere so they're not going to hurt you. It's really easily done. So try to make sure that you don't want any accidents just because you're changing strings. I mean, it can happen so easy, and then it takes weeks to fix your eye. So we don't want that to happen. The other thing that this tool is good for is pulling out the pegs. It's got a little groove here, and you just slip it under the peg. Now, like I said, I like to keep them in the order they came out. I don't think it matters, but I just find it's kind of worn in for that spot. So let's make sure we put it back in that spot, and the string will probably hold a lot nicer. And this one here, we have to watch the strap is on this guitar as well, so make sure that we keep the straps where she wanted it, where it's supposed to be. So a lot of pegs to get rid of. It's a 12 string, so like I said, same rule would apply for a 6 string as well. But it is time, and it does take work, and I mean, you still want to set the guitar up a bit if it needs it too, right? This one doesn't really need a setup. It just needs some new strings. You can see that it's been a while. It'll sound great with some new strings on it, for sure. All right, so we're almost there. 2 more to go. We got all the pegs out. 7 minutes so far. All right. So now we got our old set of strings. We can throw them out if we want to later. Look at how dirty they are. Look at they're all black. You can see how black they are. And then you can see the worn spots, and that's what you'll dig into your fret wire here. These frets are still really good. See a little bit of wear up here. This is where it'll really wear because we play up there a lot at the first fret area. So hard to really see it with my light, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea on how to put strings on for now. Yeah, so usually I'll do a little cleanup if this one's not too bad. I got all the strings off, so I'll do a little cleanup with it. I got a bit of guitar polish here. Just give it a little bit of a nice wipe down. You can get some guitar polish online or at the stores. And yeah, go through your whole guitar. Who's calling me on? Oh, that's the other thing. We're doing Skype lessons online. People are loving the Skype lessons. If you guys are interested, if you wanted to do anything, if you're players and you want to get better and you want just a video done of a particular song or a solo and a tab, I can do that personally for you. We got our YouTube channel that we're on. There's lots of songs there. You can learn TJ Claudio. You'll find all kinds of cool tutorials there on how to get strumming. Search your way through them. Sometimes when I'm doing videos, I do the on live ones, and I do them really quick because just the time. I don't have the time to do a edited video and everything. I really want to do another one. I was thinking the next one I'll do is on maybe Listen to the Music by the Doobie Brothers. That's a really good one to learn some rhythms on. So stay tuned for that one coming onto my channel as soon as I get some more time. I've laid the chart all out for it. And this is kind of good just to rub down your fretboard with, clean up all the gunk on the frets that you build up from the grease and oil from your fingers. You know, you don't want it to build up underneath the edges of the fret wire. So you try to clean it all up while you got it apart. I don't try to put too much on, just enough to, this guitar, like I said, isn't that bad. So yeah. The other thing we'll do is now we'll put some graphite in it, which is basically just a lead pencil. Get a lead pencil and sharpen it up, and then put some lead in it, and then we can start putting our strings on it. Yeah, so all these crazy little tools that we have everywhere, and yeah, we can do a nice job on the guitars. Like I said, Les Pauls, you should put some graphite in the nut. That's what will keep it from going out of tune. And you won't get so discouraged with them. So they do have other things, like person was telling me, like the gel stuff you can buy at the store. He says, but it just gets hard after a while, and it doesn't really last very long. Whereas graphite seems to last forever. This one's not getting very sharp here. I want to have a nice sharp tip, just so you can get in there and get some movement in the nut. But yeah, I just kind of sit here in the nut, and I'll just run the pencil through each groove like this, and then it helps the string to slip in the nut when you're strumming it, so it doesn't lose tension or get looser on you and then go out of tune. Just needs movement in here, and sometimes this really helps for it just to be able to vibrate and still not go out of tune because it's not stuck. So it gives it a little bit of, gives the string a little bit of movement. So there's some nice graphite in there now. You can see it all over my thumb. Then when I put the string in, it'll stay in tune better. Now this is a tough gig here, trying to get all these guys going. One thing for sure, you want to make sure this doesn't fall out, and if it does, put it back in the right way, because it is adjusted for, it's higher on this side and lower on that side. There you can really see the guitar coming through the natural light. I got to get another light, it looks like. But anyways, to string up a guitar, you can kind of see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to start stringing this up, and it's going to sound beautiful. Nice 12 string. I love 12 strings. Everybody will say, how do you play a 12 string? Well, 12 string, you just kind of play two strings for one. So your finger presses on two strings because they're skinny enough to, then basically it's an octave string, the same note, but just a higher pitch. So on the back of your package, it'll tell you 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Always count from, the top is 6, the bottom's 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I need the two brass ones. So the two brass strings. It looks like there's one here. They're hard to get unwound if they don't wind them up so that they're together, but these are together. This one's getting a little jammed up in the pack, so it's not good. You want to try to get them off nicely so that they're not all. I thought I had two here. Yeah, I do. So they don't get all bent when you try to put them on your guitar. You don't want any kinks in the string and stuff, right? So now what I do is always make sure with a 12 string, the skinnier string's on the top of it's higher, you don't put the thicker one up. On a 6 string, you would just have 6 strings. So that's why this is pretty cool tutorial here to work out. Yeah. So this one, what I'll do is I'll run the string in, and then I'll pull on the bottom, make sure it bottoms out on the peg, and push the peg down to hold the string in nice and firmly. Well, this one's not working out yet, so we'll try it again. Yeah, so it wants to keep just pulling out till we get tension on it. So this is the skinnier string. And that's going to go in the top one. We're going to run it through now. Usually what I do is to judge my distance for my string is I'll put the hand under there and hold up that one, then kink the string like this. So I'm kinking this end so that there's a kink, and I can actually pull it on the post so I can keep tension there. and then wind this part of the string below this part so it coils down to the bottom nicely. You don't have to tie it or anything like that. You just run it all the way down. You let it do about, you try to, that's why I did this judgment thing, so I know how much slack I have. And then we keep winding it up like that. We can use that tool too, the winder that I got. Of course, always winding out is tightening, and if the string's going this way, that's loosening. Same rule applies for this side. Always winding out is tightening, this way is loosening, if that helps. So you always wind your strings up the right way. So cool, I think I got the first one on nicely. And that's the skinnier string, and then this is the same string, but with a higher pitch. Or sorry, lower pitch. The first string is the higher octave string, E, it's an E string. So as we pull this down here, it should lock in so that that pig doesn't keep coming out. And then we'll put this string on, run it through, and I make sure this is out of your way so you don't get that in the eyeball. I usually cut them if I get too many all at once. So there we go. We're now going into this second peg above, running that through, getting this totally out of my working area. That string, I just tucked it underneath the back of the guitar there. This one, the first one that I put on. Now I got this next one, so I'm going to do another judgment call here with my hand. Should be about that much slack. Then I'm going to put a little kink here on the post like that, just so that I can grab the string. And then I just hold a little bit of tension there, and now I can start tightening it. Right? So this is winding this way. This piece here is winding out. Now this piece here, you want this part of the string to wind down onto the post. So you don't want it to go above the other string. You want to kind of coil it to the bottom of the tailstock of the guitar, or the headstock of the guitar right here. That's what I mean. Yeah. So now this is going to sit in the next groove. And it's always good if you've never done it before to leave a string on. Leave one string on, and then you can always know how they go back on, because, for one thing for sure is you might not remember how this string goes or where it goes, and then you're kind of in trouble. So always leave a string on for a bit of a reference. It's helpful. So this looks like it's seating in there very nicely now. And the peg's slowly coming out, so I'll push the peg down. Yeah. So they can be a little finicky at times. Yep. So this peg isn't locking in, so we have to work with it a bit. There. Because as I'm tightening it, it's lifting up. Yeah, so it takes a while to string up a guitar. I'm not going to do a whole video, but that gives you an idea on how to judge your distance for the string and which way to tighten it up. And the same rule would apply for a 6-string. If you have any other questions, text them to me. I can see I'm already 20 minutes in, so it takes a fair bit of time. So any questions on tuning, let me know. Leave me some comments or stringing up your guitar. All right, guys, thanks, and I hope that helped you. Bye for now.